is an ancient breathing cycle that, when activated in the minutes leading up to deep sleep, reverses the buildup of cellular stagnation that we call aging. Most of us lie down in bed expecting rest, but the body remains in a subtle state of alert that prevents true biological regeneration. While you sleep without activating this mechanism, your cells miss the critical window to carry out autophagy, the natural recycling process that turns metabolic waste into new vitality. This video reveals how to turn your night into an alchemical laboratory of rejuvenation through a specific breathing rhythm. The 4-4-8, capable of modulating gene expression and slowing down the internal clock. There is a hidden component in the prolonged exhalation that alters the chemistry of the vagus nerve, and that will only be explained later, but which determines whether you wake up renewed or oxidized. Closing this video now means continuing to allow daily wear and tear to accumulate in your tissues without repair, accepting morning exhaustion as normal when it is, in fact, optional. The body knows how to rebuild itself in the dark, but it needs the correct input signal that you are about to master. What we call the elixir of time is not an external substance, but an induced physiological state in which the body prioritizes structural repair over vigilance. It is the conscious activation of cellular recycling, a process in which the organism consumes its own damaged proteins to create new structures. In Hermetic traditions, the sleeping body was seen as an Athanor, the alchemical furnace where the dense matter of the day should be transmuted into subtle energy during the night. The ancients understood that sleep was not just a pause in consciousness, but the sacred moment when the spirit rebuilt the flesh, provided that the moon breath was established before closing the eyes. This phenomenon operates through modulation of the autonomic nervous system. When we apply a breathing rhythm in which the exhalation is twice as long as the inhalation, we chemically force the body to exit the sympathetic fight-or-flight mode and enter the domain of deep parasympathetic. It is in this state, and only in it, that true cellular cleansing takes place. Contemporary science, through Yoshinori Osumi's studies on autophagy and Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory, validates this mechanics. Deep tissue repair is inhibited by the presence of residual cortisol and adrenaline. If you sleep tense, you age faster. The prolonged exhalation works like an epigenetic switch, signaling longevity genes that the environment is safe enough to invest energy in reconstruction. This matters now because the stiffness you feel upon waking and the skin that loses its glow are not just signs of time, but symptoms of nights when recycling did not occur. There is someone whose routine demanded exactly this regeneration to survive the weight of the days, and her experience illustrates what happens when the body relearns how to cleanse itself. Beatrice, at 45, felt that her body was aging at a speed the calendar could not keep up with. As a social worker dealing with high vulnerability cases, she spent the day absorbing other people's trauma, an invisible burden that settled in her joints and in the tired expression the mirror reflected back. Her routine was a cycle of exhaustion. She came home with her mind buzzing from the difficult stories she heard, ate something quick for dinner, and collapsed into bed, hoping sleep would erase the weight. But the nights were shallow. Beatrice woke up with the feeling of being rusted, with a locked jaw and a mental fog that demanded liters of coffee to dissipate. She felt that her vitality was draining away, turning her into a grey version of herself, with no sparkle in her eyes and no elasticity in her skin. Her attempts to solve this were many and ineffective. She bought expensive creams that promised miracles in the dermis, took melatonin supplements that only left her groggy, and tried guided meditations that her agitated mind could not follow. The problem was deeper than aesthetics or insomnia. It was a systemic failure in her capacity to remake herself. Her body was storing the day's stress as metabolic trash and could not process it. Access to change came one sleepless night, when she found an ancient treatise on biological rhythms and the nighttime purification, breath. The text did not speak of rest, but of sweeping the ashes from the temple. The idea that she could actively command the recycling of her own fatigue through breath resonated with a visceral need for cleansing. That very night, lying in the dark, Beatrice decided to test it. She adjusted her posture, placed her hands over her belly, and began the breathing cycle described, focusing only on the counting and the sensation of the air leaving. For the first time in years, she felt her heart rate plummet in a controlled way and a warm, almost liquid heaviness releasing her shoulders into the mattress. Her mind stopped spinning around the cases from work, and her body plunged into a velvety darkness. Now, let's turn your bed into the regeneration laboratory, Beatrice discovered. What we will do next is not just a breathing exercise. It is the insertion of a biological code, the 448 rhythm, directly into your brainstem to order the start of deep cellular maintenance. Lie down comfortably, preferably already in total darkness, ready for the transition to sleep. Allow your body to take up all the space it needs, uncrossing legs and arms, letting your palms face upward or rest gently on your abdomen. Close your eyes and bring your attention to gravity, feeling the weight of your heels, hips, and shoulder blades sinking into the mattress, as if the body were surrendering to the earth. Bring your attention to the flow of air, but don't try to control it yet. Just observe its temperature as it enters and leaves. Now, we will begin modulation. The first stage is silent nasal inhalation. Draw in the air while mentally counting to 4 beats. Feel the abdomen expand three-dimensionally, pushing the ribs out to the sides and the navel upward. Avoid pulling the air into the chest. High breathing activates alertness, and we want the opposite. Imagine that you are bringing in new vitality, clean oxygen, and repair information into the system. Hold the air in your lungs for 4 beats. This pause is the 0 point, the moment of suspension where gas exchange takes place and the oxygen permeates the blood. Do not lock your throat or close your glottis with tension. Maintain a gentle pause, as if time had stopped and you were floating in warm water. In this silence, the heart naturally slows down. Now, the master key of longevity. Exhale through the mouth or nose, releasing the air slowly with a long mental count up to 8. This exhalation, which must last exactly twice as long as the inhalation, is the vagal break. It is the irrefutable chemical signal of safety. It is in this extended moment that cortisol is drained from the bloodstream and cellular cleansing begins. Empty your lungs completely, feeling the navel drop toward the spine, squeezing out every remnant of stale air. Restart the cycle. Inhale life in 4 beats. Hold in the fertile vacuum for 4 beats. And then Exhale toxins at length, sustaining the outflow of air for a full 8 counts. Feel the weight of your body double with each long exhalation. Notice if there is a tingling in your fingertips, a gentle warmth spreading through your solar plexus, or a sensation of melting behind your eyes. These are biological markers that the parasympathetic system has taken command and is beginning to sweep away the conflammatory residue of the day. Focus on your jaw during this extended exhalation. Notice that, in order to release the air so slowly, you need to unlock your teeth and relax the root of your tongue. This orofacial relaxation sends a second safety signal to the ancient brain. You are switching off, switch by switch, the vigilance that consumes energy, and turning on the reconstruction plant. Keep this rhythm fluid. The body begins to understand that there is no danger, that the fight is over, and that the internal repair crews, autophagy, can begin to work, consuming old proteins to create new tissue. Before we deepen the alchemical visualization, it is necessary to understand the real and tangible impact of this on the life of someone who applies this technique consistently. Beatrice, that first night, did not fall asleep immediately. On the contrary, during the practice, she felt an initial discomfort, a resistance from the mind that wanted to keep running and revisiting the day's traumas. But, by insisting on the prolonged 8-count exhalation, she experienced an unprecedented physical phenomenon, a sudden sensation of internal freefall, as if the elevator floor had disappeared, followed by muscular relaxation so deep that her arms felt made of lead. It was the sympathetic nervous system finally yielding, exiting the chronic defense mode she had maintained for years. She woke up the next morning before the alarm went off, something impossible in her previous routine. The first thing she noticed was not euphoria, but silence. The mental radio that used to switch on instantly with worries was mute. Looking at herself in the mirror, the grey, dull skin seemed to have regained a subtle peach tone, and the puffiness under her eyes, a classic sign of systemic inflammation and nighttime cortisol, had disappeared. Her face didn't just look rested, it looked de-inflamed. The concrete transformation consolidated over the following weeks. Beatrice discovered she no longer needed 3 cups of coffee to function in the morning. At work, faced with traumatic stories that previously would have left her drained for days, she realized she maintained a buffer of protection. She listened, she held space, but she did not absorb. Her body, having completed its nightly cleansing cycle, was strong enough to process the emotional load without storing it in the fascia. The chronic exhaustion she believed was the price of age turned out to be only the price of lack of repair. She was not getting old, she was just accumulated. And now she knew how to cleanse herself. What she felt, that clean and vital clarity, is exactly what your tissues are now beginning to prepare. Resume the breathing cycle with renewed awareness. Inhale in 4 beats, hold for 4, and release the air slowly for 8. Now, we are going to add alchemical intention, turning the breath into a tool for cellular sweeping. The body is the athanor, the furnace. The breath is the bellows that stokes the fire of transmutation. During the 4-count retention, visualize that the oxygen is acting like a magnet inside your body. Imagine that it is collecting the metabolic ashes, old cells, fragments of damaged proteins, toxins from food, oxidized cortisol from stress, and the emotional tensions of the day. See all this being swept from the extremities, feet and hands, to the center of the lungs, gathering like a dense gray smoke. During the long 8-count exhalation, visualize this dense matter leaving the body through your breath, leaving behind a clean, crystalline, and vibrant space. With each long out-breath, you become less dense and more subtle. You are not just emptying air, you are expelling aging. Feel that, physically, your bones weigh more on the mattress, but your subtle energy begins to float, detaching from the gravity of fatigue. Deepen the sensation. Notice the melting of micro-tensions behind your eyes, at the hairline, and in the pelvic floor with each extended exhalation. If the mind wanders, gently bring it back to the rhythm, inhaling vitality, holding to collect, exhaling to cleanse. You are turning passive sleep into an active and deliberate act of healing. Maintain this rhythm until you feel the line between being awake and asleep begin to dissolve, entering a hypnagogic state where the body sleeps but consciousness floats. This is the threshold of rejuvenation. The ritual is complete. The command has been given. The body knows exactly what to do from here to rebuild you in the dark. The physical marker that cellular recycling has been activated and that you have crossed the boundary between wear and repair is unmistakable, yet subtle. Do not look for big bursts of energy. Look for water and weight. The first irrefutable biological sign is a drastic change in the viscosity of your mouth. A fluid, abundant, and sweet salivation floods the tongue. This is not trivial. It is the direct release of acetylcholine, the primary neurotransmitter of the vagus nerve, confirming that the digestive and repair system has been reactivated. If your mouth was dry or pasty and is now moist, the alchemy has begun. Simultaneously, you will feel a change in the thermodynamics of your extremities. A comfortable warmth, almost like a gentle electric tingling, migrates from the center of the chest to the palms of the hands and soles of the feet. This is peripheral vasodilation, indicating that the blood, previously sequestered in the large muscles for an imagined fight, has been released to nourish the skin and fine tissues. Added to this is the sensation of doubled gravity. Your limbs seem to weigh twice as much, sinking into the mattress as if made of molten lead, while the mind remains floating in serene clarity. To anchor this state and turn it into an accessible command for future nights, we will use an anchoring signal gesture. Still lying down, interlace your fingers gently, without squeezing, and place your palms directly over your navel, the vital center where biological life begins. Feel the warmth of your hands penetrating the skin of your abdomen. Take a single, long, hissing exhalation through the mouth, producing a soft, continuous sis sound, emptying all the air until the abdomen contracts slightly under your hands. This touch over the enteric plexus, combined with the sound vibration and the emptying of the lungs, seals the regeneration command into the nervous tissue. It is like closing the door of the laboratory so that the work can begin. However, the body has a memory of tension. On nights when insomnia visits or the mind spins in worries, use the return protocol. Do not fight wakefulness. If you lie down and feel the rigidity return, place your hands on your navel. Start the 4-4-8 rhythm. and silently repeat the command phrase. My body knows the path of renewal in the dark. Repeat this mentally with each breathing cycle. This turns anxiety into a trigger for the practice, ensuring that the night works in your favor, not against you. The seal is done. The body now belongs to repair. What you now carry in the structure of your body is not just a passing relaxation, but the master key to modulate biological time itself. The implications of what we have just practiced are vast and redefine your relationship with aging. You realize that aging ceases to be a passive and inevitable decline of matter and becomes a process managed with awareness and intention. The vitality that seemed to slip through your fingers over the years was not lost. It was merely blocked by a nervous system that forgot how to switch off alert mode. By regaining the ability to enter deep parasympathetic state, you unlock the fountain of youth that has always resided in your own marrow. This practice is only the beginning, the first step in a much deeper and more sacred relationship with your hidden physiology. There are layers of even subtler regeneration available to those who learn to dialogue with the autonomous intelligence of the body. Territories where conscious will and molecular biology merge into a single prayer of healing. You are learning to speak the language of your cells. As Paracelsus taught, the great physician and alchemist who saw the body as a microcosm of the universe, sleep is the alchemist's laboratory, where the lead of illness and fatigue must be transmuted by the gentle fire of breath into the gold of health and longevity. Your body is this sacred laboratory, and the rhythmic breathing you learned today is the bellows that keeps the fire of transmutation burning through the night. God, in His infinite wisdom, designed our biology with perfect self-healing mechanisms such as autophagy that await only our vibrational consent to act. The Creator did not make the body to wear out without repair. He left the keys of renewal hidden in our very breath. By sleeping with this ritual intention, you honor the temple that was given to you, allowing the source to restore your original energy so that you can serve life in fullness the next day. If this content resonated with you, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your interaction is vital so that the algorithm brings this knowledge to other seekers who sleep without resting. Consider becoming a member of the channel to support our ongoing investigation into embodied spirituality and ensure that this work continues. Write in the comments, I activate cellular recycling and reverse time while I sleep. This is an act of neural reinforcement that solidifies your healing intention before the universe. Do not stop here. The journey of discovering your body is continuous. Click on the video that appears on the screen now to continue exploring the latent capacities of your physiology and uncover other blocks that may be draining your life force. Remember, the night is not the end of the day. It is the beginning of your renewal. Sleep to live, not just to rest.